day 2 was a bit of a rainy affair on old gravel roads where we turned left onto the Swartberg Pass, and then eventually again we turned left onto Gamkaskloof, or the hill. This road is named because it was almost impossible in the old days to get to the bottom of the kloof and into the valley. Currently it's only the last 3.6 kilometer that is actually a bit difficult. After a hearty breakfast, a bit of bantering and carrying on, we left. And then boom, some of the front runners were caught out by a bit of a slippery patch. They decided, because they were pillioning and we didn't know the quality of the road ahead, they turned around and went back to the campsite. As we entered the Swartberg Pass, we were now climbing a bit higher and was getting into the clouds. This was now a real adventure. Fortunately, the rain was just a slight drizzle, but the mist was getting a bit heavier and heavier as we climbed. We finally reached the turn off into the Gamkaskloof. At this stage we were quite high and really on the other side of the mountain, so the clouds lifted and we actually had a very nice trip. I mounted the camera on the helmet and we set off for a nice little fun ride with the ZONTES over the gravel. Unfortunately, the rain and the drops on the lens did hamper a bit, and eventually we had to stop to fix a number plate that came loose. With the grey clouds, the pictures were unfortunate but bland. It was actually quite a nice flowing road over the mountain, through the cutting, over the next mountain, through the next cutting. And there's the couch. Nothing can beat plush luxury. We stopped on one of the little crests to just regroup a bit, and then we set off again into the mist. At least there was some dust. At least there was some time for some arty pictures as well. In the old days, this section was the real pass, but unfortunately a year or so ago there was a massive veld fire and everything in the valley was burnt. This is going to take probably more than 100 years for the trees to grow again, because with the scarcity of water, everything here goes at a very, very slow pace. We finally reached the bottom and fontaine, where there's a little shop with all sorts of funny things.
En waar is ons nou?
Die hel.
Hoe is dit? Is jy seker?
After admiring all the signs, all the little things and trinkets, we took a bit of a rest, had a little bit of a lunch, and set on our way out again. And then there was a customary pictures at the entrance. At this point the clouds were lifting and we could see a fair amount of sunshine and a fair amount of blue sky. It's going to be a nice ride back. We hit rain again about 3 to 5 kilometers from the end of the pass and saw a beautiful rainbow. Because of all the rains, the fynbos opened up and pictures will never do justice to the beauty of this area. We drink coffee, we funny around, and then we eventually reach the top. As you can see, there's a bit of a rainstorm ahead of us, but still nothing too bad. As we turned right in the Swartberg Pass, probably a kilometer later, it was fully mist, all small drizzly. It was actually quite interesting because never in my life did I ride in this type of weather conditions. Thanks for the tar road, but even that was short-lived. Back at the campsite,
En hierdie stukkie hier so wat ons op pad uit so
it wasn't really raining anymore,
asof hy nie bestaan
although
nie.
everything was still wet. We had a nice fire, nice braai, and chat about the day on the road.